Whatever, we're fine. We'll go this way.
Okay, great.
How
great.
are you? So what's going on? It's been a long time.
It has been a long time. Life has been going on. Submerging. Hey, TJ, how you doing, love? I don't want to be so loud. I know I'm loud. I have to calm down.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'm okay with that.
Okay. Is that lighting better?
Sure.
Okay, great. I'm gonna change it.
I don't care.
Since you
I don't care.
you paused a little bit.
Doesn't
Okay, that's better. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So what's going on? What's been up? What's going on?
Nothing much. I forgot we were gonna film, so I didn't shave. But you know, whatever.
That's okay. The grades are looking good. You looking good. Everybody in the chat's looking good.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. That was a coincidence, though, that picture popped up in the memories. That was
right.
That was 4 years ago.
4 years ago. You
Jesus.
Flew out to Florida, saw me, met my husband. That was awesome. That was an amazing time.
4 years and 200 pounds later, here I am.
Woo! Yeah.
You're not supposed to agree. Come on.
Well, I'm not agreeing. I gained, I think, 5 pounds.
Yeah, I gained like 400. So
400, really? Yeah, that happens.
It feels like it. I mean, COVID. Come on.
Yeah.
COVID, stinking COVID. Anyhow, So yeah, when was the last time you came to California? How long ago was that?
I came to California last year. I didn't get a chance to see everybody like I wanted to. Like Latasha, she's up in here. Hey, Latasha, I don't know if you're in here. Make a comment if you're still up in here, boo. I didn't get a chance to see Brian, but we saw a couple of our friends and loved ones and family, and that was great.
Yeah.
That was a year ago, wasn't it? In June.
Was it a year ago?
It was a year ago. Mm-hmm.
It was. We did have to wear masks. I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it wasn't,
All right, that was cool.
too
That
bad.
was fun. That was fun. It's fun time. Cecily and a bunch of other people from Bredstone.
Yeah, we saw Cecily, Ty, Stanley, my godbrother.
Crazy Ty.
Yeah, Brianna. I wanted to see Mushana. I didn't get a chance to see Mushana. I miss everybody, yeah.
She's hilarious. She was great. So did you come back to LA and not tell me that you came to LA?
When
I don't know. I just saw photos.
Oh, yes. Only because my husband. Well, only because I work with my husband. So sometimes we fly in, we go into LA and then we're out. Like 1 or 2 days and then we're out. It's not even a.
Okay. I could have been there in 5 minutes. I don't live that far.
Yeah.
Rent a car, go, do it.
So I saw Lady Di Smith, she was there, so that was great. Yeah.
Good. So this is the inaugural episode of Submerge Life, I guess, something like that. I don't know. We'll try it. We'll just talk. We'll just talk about life and our adventures that we've had.
Yes.
The journey. We've had some good adventures with Higher Calling, with Stop Program, with Bredstone Entertainment.
Yes.
There's a lot there, and we had a lot of good memories.
A lot of great memories.
Sometimes I wish that we could go back into that past and relive it again, especially knowing what we know now and the wisdom that we have now. Just going back there and doing it again.
Yeah, I think it would be even all the more powerful, even though it was powerful during that time, life-changing, growing pains for all of us, but great growing pains and life-changing. But I would love to have the wisdom that I have now back then. I think a lot of us in this live would like that.
Yeah.
Because the older we get, the better we get.
Right, and then you know things, and it's like, oh, okay. That lessons. Like for me personally, every time that I meet someone, I try and learn something from them. Right. Look at a good characteristic that they have, and sometimes try and duplicate that. There's this one guy, my buddy's father, who passed away last year. Unexpectedly. But one of the things that I learned from him is just to make every person special, make them feel like they're special, because that's what he did to me. Wow. Even though I have known him for a while, and so I guess in the back of my head, it's like, okay, I want to emulate that. I want to pull people in front of him because I know that he's going to make them feel good, make them feel special, make them feel like they're somebody. So that's just an example of trying to learn from people and sometimes duplicate what they're doing in
Yeah.
my own special way. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
I love that. I love that concept. Like there has to be a name for the emulate, to emulate the good that other people do, and you want to reflect that. And I love, that's what I loved about working with you, working with Philip, working with Eddie, working with Mondo, working with Brian, like Naomi, like Ignacio, we genuinely had a desire to make other people feel special, to make them feel happy. Teresa, Sonia, you know, Ephraim, all of us at that time, in that time period, in that time frame, Chad, it was our Angela, it was our desire to make people feel happy, be happy, to express Christ, to live the life of Christ, to be that example, and to be a light in the midst of darkness. So yeah, that's my point too, that my life, I want my life to reflect when I'm in somebody's presence or I'm talking to them, even if I'm feeling low and I'm bad or whatever. So a lot of times if I'm feeling real low and bad, you might not want to talk to me because I'm not the one to talk to at that moment. But
yeah,
for the most part, I want people to walk away feeling like, okay, yeah, T just encouraged me, you know, T sharing love, and I can keep going.
yeah.
And I am the reminder that people are special, because everyone is special.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I've gone with my hills and valleys and
Thanks,
trying to
Robert.
make people feel special. Like if you look at my Instagram page, I'm trying to get back to it where I'm posting my selfies. I take a lot of selfies with people. Why do I do that?
Yeah.
Well, because why not? One,
why not?
I have a horrible memory, so it's like I want to remember you, so you know,
So
I want to put
let's
this.
selfie.
Yeah, let's do the selfie. But what I'm trying to get into the habit is that if I know that their birthday is happening, you know, from Facebook, then I'm gonna post that selfie of us together to wish them a happy birthday, and hopefully it was a good moment in that time. And sometimes I'm gonna put it in my post and actually just write about them, write what I learned about that person or why they are special. Or sometimes I don't write anything; I just say happy birthday. But I'm trying to get back into that because I used to, when I was raising money a couple years ago to go to Cambodia, I did that for like a month. I would not post anything by myself. It would always be with someone.
Wonderful.
And that was it. So I did it for like 30 days and I thought it was great. It was great because I'm trying to encourage folks and try and make them feel good and feel special. So anyhow, so thank you so much for coming on. We do have a lot of history, a lot of exciting things that we did, right?
Exciting,
and I was talking with Jose a few months back, and he's like, man, what you guys did, you guys were at the beginning of the curve of doing some of the things that we were doing. And now I feel like, okay, well, now we're at the end of the curve, but whatever. We're still going to try and do this.
I know, right?
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. We're at the end of the curve. And like we were monumental and forward thinking. Hi, Robert, again. You're so precious. We love you. Thank you for joining us. He's amazing. That's my friend.
Yeah.
He's amazing. But we were doing skits, we were writing, we were doing things like behind when we would all get together. Remember that skit we did with the teddy bear, and all of us, we made a whole movie after we watched the movie. We made
yeah. So, we lost that video. We don't have that anymore.
Yeah, that was we would get together and we would brainstorm, we would think, and we were so creative, and we had such a love for God and such a love for evangelism and such a love. I'm going to take this back to God right now, take it back to Jesus Christ. He was the foundation of all of our lives. He was the main reason why we did what we did, through the shows, through the schools, through the when we used to go to boot camps, we used to go to juvenile hall, when we were invited to different churches and different outreaches. Christ was the center of that. Him being preached, him being glorified, and then he working through us through the Dead Man Walking, the Esperanza Avenue. What else we did? all of these
to the battle's end,
to the battles end, No More
Divas with the after
Monsters,
school program.
after
Yeah,
school
that
programs.
No
Yeah, No More
Monsters, a
Monsters.
champion.
The drug weekend. We used to do that.
Uh, oh yeah,
Red
the
Dare
yeah.
or Dare or something like that. And we had huge audiences, huge. I mean, we were like, we did not, we did not intend, we didn't know, but we knew we wanted Christ to be glorified. We knew that
Mm-hmm.
we wanted the gifts that he gave us. That was like, that was like our everything. It's like, God, you gave this to us. So we're going to give it back to you, and we're going to do it with all of our heart and with all our might. And
Mm-hmm.
every time we spoke, every time there was dance, every time there was worship that went forward, or a theatrical play, or spoken word that went forward. And even further on, when Robin Grayson came in with his wonderful poetry, every time the word went forward, it was about making impact and
Right.
making sure that people heard the message and that Christ was being glorified, and it was all about him.
Mm-hmm.
All of
Yeah.
our characters. Remember Dead Man Walking? Because you played the dead man, right?
Yeah, that was my first speaking
Yeah.
role. I
Yeah.
was the dead man walking.
The Dead Man Walking.
That's kind of, I wouldn't say that's where it started at all for me. That was the continuation of the work that was being done.
Right.
Because then it pushed me into I had to do a speaking role. It's like I never really did speaking roles. And then I'm the main character. Even though I had the least amount of lines, I mean the whole story was about my character. And so
Yeah.
you know, I tell people I'm the shyest actor I know
Yeah.
because I do get nervous and shy and I don't like the attention sometimes. I've grown to enjoy the attention.
Yes. Good.
But when it comes to God, okay, cool. What you want me to do? Then that's
Exactly.
just to do the ministry. Okay, cool. Do I got to get up in front of all these people? Yeah. Doing the after school program. Holy smokes. I
I
mean,
know, right?
I had to
Absolutely.
do, I keep, when I tell that story, like I was the least qualified, the least talented, I had the least imagination, least amount of imagination. Like I didn't know this stuff compared to like you, where you were a dancer and actress, and Eddie and Philip who were musicians. But yet I had my own site. It's like, what am I doing? What are you doing,
you had your own,
Hubert? Why are you
but
giving me my own site? And then
you
my
were,
partner that I had at the time, who was skilled, but he left. He left me like a few weeks before the show. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to do this by myself. Like really by myself. I mean, when I say by myself, I mean, yes, we had to, at that beginning of Higher Calling and doing the after school program, we had our own sites, but when we went to the show and we had to do the actual show, the whole team was there. So we weren't by ourselves.
right.
And we knew how like we could just be like, okay, tell us what to do. Where do you want the lights? When do you want them up, down, whatever? Just tell us what to do.
Hi,
So we
Sarah
weren't,
Bear Blue. Right.
we weren't by ourselves, but during that first
During the
13
duration
weeks
of the 9 weeks.
yeah
Right.
yeah 9 weeks yeah so yeah I was willing to do anything. I mean, come on, I did dancing.
Yes, you did. You
Nobody
stepped out of the
know,
box.
not very many people know that. Like I did choreographed dancing.
Yeah, you did.
Oh,
See, you were phenomenal. You were phenomenal, and I say you were phenomenal, and Philip and Eddie. But let me focus on you right now. You were phenomenal because you did the merge. You submerged the higher calling into the media realm, the marketing realm. You know, with the graphics and the designs and the behind the scenes. So you were a critical asset in the ministry because you did a lot of work. You laid the foundation. You know, a lot of times people see the grand production and they don't know all the work that goes on behind the scenes. And so you were more inept in that way. And so for God to turn it around and allow you to come in the forefront, to be able to direct, to be able to create, to be able to write, to be able to produce and direct from the forefront as well as the back, that's amazing.
Yeah, and it took years. That wasn't an overnight thing, and it took years to get there. I mean, he had got to put together such a great foundation with people before me that I could learn from, like Eddie and Philip, and we started doing that stuff. Well, they started doing that stuff, really not knowing what they're doing, besides knowing how to play instruments because they were musicians. But doing theater, or traveling theater, and building sets, they went and learned it.
Like
That was
you
one of
all
the
were
things that I learned.
phenomenal with
It was
that.
like we didn't have the huge access to the internet, and so it's like
No,
you got to
we
go to the
didn't.
library and you got to learn, and
We
so
had to
that's where I learned that
learn.
from. I
Right,
learned it
right,
from those people and those
right,
guys, and then as they transitioned out, like we had to take the lead and we had to keep going. We were prepared for
right.
it because we let ourselves be pushed, right? We let
But
ourselves to be used,
to be submerged at that time,
submerging, right?
and
Yep.
continuously after that. And the huge factor in that is I want to give a shout out to Hubert and Lori Alvarez,
Mm-hmm.
the founders of Higher Calling Production.
Mm-hmm.
The founders of it was birthed out of Cornerstone Assemblies of God Church. Just the amazing foundation that they laid for us, and then believing in us, and then pushing us, and them seeing us outside of what we saw in ourselves. Like God
Mm-hmm.
literally touched them, and they were a core. It's very important that whatever project you have, or whatever you're working on, or whatever you want to submerge your life into, whatever gift and calling you have, that you have
Mm-hmm.
a supportive team, supportive people around you, and that your foundation is rooted and grounded. Because
Yeah.
when you went on into Submerge Life, you went on to your different ventures, and we went into Bredstone, and Mondo went into his things. We were supportive of one another. Even when Philip
Right.
and Eddie did Aslan's table, and people moved on and did different things or whatever, we're still like 100% behind them. If they post up something, if they had something event or they whatever, we're still family. Come hell or high water, come time, come whatever, come
I think
confusion, come
I think though in society today, I think we've kind of lost that though.
yeah,
Not us as individuals, maybe sometimes I have because I will notice, well, I will post something and I'll be like, please share. Nobody shares it. Or maybe I'll have like one or two. Where back
mm-hmm.
in the day, it's like if we knew somebody was doing something, in our team or whatever, like Aslan's table, okay, we
Right,
bought the CD, we bought the t-shirt, we go to the show, we take
everything,
the pictures,
yes,
we post them online, we did it all because I was supporting each other in that. And I
right,
think in a way, especially in the Christian world, it's like we can get so into our own little group
group, yeah,
somewhat.
yeah,
I
cliquish,
know, yeah, a little cliquish, and I know even and this whole pandemic thing made it even worse because you got to think about yourself, which
yeah,
is what one of the things that started happening to me is that and it's understandable, like you got to take care of yourself. Like I found myself just worrying about myself and where I was living, and that was it. And then at the end of the summer, I realized, oh crap, I never text the people that I know that live alone.
wow,
I
right,
never did that. And before, it was always reaching out to people, hanging out with people. I'll drop whatever if somebody needs to talk, go drive however long I needed to go, and just and go sit with people and talk with people. But then when this thing and we got a shelter in place, I stopped doing it, and that was a wake-up call. I think during the summer, it's like, oh crap, and I had to apologize. So I apologized to someone publicly because there was like a meeting of a life group that I went to, and
mm-hmm.
I sat in, and I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I know that you live by yourself, and fortunately, I had a roommate and a dog at the time that was always home, so I didn't really feel that disconnect from people, kind
Yeah,
of. I mean, I did,
yeah,
but I didn't. But I had something to distract me, but I didn't think about all the other people that
yeah,
did. Like, I don't, if I had to stay home, if I got COVID and had to stay home for 2 weeks by myself, I would go insane. I would
yeah.
go insane.
Well, we're
And
people. We need community.
right.
We need each
Yep.
other. That's how God
Yep.
designed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We need each other. And sometimes we're afraid to go into that. Um, yeah.
yeah.
That's a whole nother
That's a
thing.
whole nother topic. Yeah,
It's a whole nother
people.
thing that I've learned over especially the last 2 years,
Yeah,
uh, and constantly having that, and yeah. All right. Anyhow, so submerging into life, that's what this whole thing is about. How, and you have submerged into life your whole life. So
Yes.
30-second snapshot view of who you are and where you come from.
30-second snapshot view would be uh, born in Detroit, lived in California, native of California, born in Detroit, lived in Louisiana, lived in Chicago. Background, foundational, loved both my parents, but did not grow up in the best home. My father was a Vietnam veteran, much respect and love to him. And my mother was a young, beautiful woman, oldest of 9 children. Love my siblings. There's much love in my family. However, there was a lot of dysfunction, a lot of abuse because my father suffered from a lot of trauma, but he's since grown and I've forgiven him and I love him. And a lot of the work that I do today, the work that I have done in the past, a lot of my ministry to people and or me just being myself with people and or me giving back to community and life and other people is a result of my past. Broken. I was broken in a lot of places. And then as I grew up, I gave my life to the Lord at 19, changed and did a radical change. And then got saved, was radically saved for years and years and years. And then after that, proceeded to backslide and went through a whole nother seasons of journey and had to relearn. But I've since reconnected with the Lord years ago. I'm married now. Again, I'm grateful to be married to the right man of God instead of the other ones that I was married to. But yeah, I love God. I love children. I love ministry. I love people. I love the elderly. I love truth. I love supporting, and I love to encourage people. So that's who I am.
Yeah, that is a huge journey of life, right?
Yes.
We can let our past destroy us or build us up.
Yes.
And we've got to decide on which one that's going to be. So it's great. Let's go back into the memories.
Okay.
And what is one stage of life or memory that you want to talk about?
Stage of life and memory as far as...
Before I get in, it doesn't matter, plays, things that we did together, things that you did on your own, something that had a huge impact on your life. Now there is going to be one that if you don't hit it, I'm gonna bring it up because
the first thing I think about is 3 things I think about, but I'm gonna tell you about this one. Is the one where we were at a show and I was testifying about where I came from, and somebody said Detroit, and I said, yeah, Detroit, and I flipped and fell off the stage and came up. Y'all, I fell off the stage. My foot hit the speaker. My head hit the ground. But I rolled over to the somersault and came up and said, the devil is a liar. That was hilarious. They got it on tape somewhere. It's in the vault. And Ephraim laughed so hard. He laughed so hard. And I thought about him today, and wherever he is, I think he's in Texas somewhere. But yeah, I jumped up even at my leg. Remember my leg was bloody? It was tore up. And he was rolling. Everybody was rolling.
I think that wasn't that in Kalawa or something? I forgot what little city. It was a little city, and we were doing a play there. That was fun. That was funny.
That was funny.
Because I remember being in the back. I was with Hubert, and we see you, like, there's heads there, where I'm at the sound booth. We see you fall, and then you pop up like 10 feet from where you fell. Like, what? And then all we hear is the devil is a liar.
The devil was trying to stop me from sharing my testimony, honey. I was like, the devil is a liar.
Yeah.
People started clapping. They started laughing and stuff. Yeah, I was 10 feet from where I fell. That was hilarious. But
all right, so that's number 1. Let's go to number 2.
What's number 2?
What's your second? For you? I don't know. What's the number 2? You said you had 3 things that you...
Memorable. Well,
memorable.
About that time with Teresa's sister. Remember Teresa's sister name? Sharice. Yeah, Sharice and her mom. And God bless her mom. She rests in peace. We know she's in heaven. Teresa, we love you. We miss your mom. We miss all of you. When we did the Homeward Bound, and Eddie and I played the psychic.
You played the psychic, yeah.
I
Okay.
played the psychic, and Eddie came, and Eddie said something, and I said, I forgot what I said, but I said, don't something about, because Eddie made the comment about Dionne Warwick. I was a fake Dionne Warwick. I said, don't say I'm a fake Dionne Warwick. What I said, that woman looked like a frog. And
A frog, you hear? That was Santa Cruz. Wasn't that in Santa Cruz?
Santa Cruz. Yeah, it was Santa Cruz.
I remember a bunch of us were behind stage. Like we were literally right behind you because there wasn't no wall. Like I think it was curtains. Oh my gosh, we were rolling. We were rolling.
And the loudest one, even though everybody was going, the loudest one was Sharice. Sharice just laughed. I can hear her now in my head. She laughed and laughed. It was so funny.
That was that was a moment.
That was a moment. It was a moment. Everybody just fell out rolling. It was a moment. So and then yeah.
What's your third one?
Third one when we did Monsters, that was great. When I played Philip's little sister.
Ain't no monsters in your
house. Remember I had the pigtails and the kids and just okay, all my memorable moments were when we did American What, whether it was at your school, Eddie's school, whether it was in Huron, Parlier for Philip's school, my schools. Just every time we
did that a lot. Yeah.
We did that a lot. And every time, and memorable moments, Running Back to You, Homeward Bound gets me every time. Homeward Bound. The human video after Running Back, because Running Back to You.
Oh, that's right.
When I first got saved, that song was very important to me. And so to see when I came to audition for Higher Calling, when I came into Higher Calling, and then when I saw the Homeward Bound, the totality of it at the end, during rehearsal, I was just like, wow, I want to be a part of this group. Yeah. That
was the one where everything was in the human video. They're all life and enticement was pulling at Eddie, right?
Pulling at Eddie. Life, death, demons, life, all of the different attractions, the sexy woman, the psychic that I played.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
The money, him being a prodigal. Yeah.
Right.
And they were all coming back to him. Yeah, he was walking away from God. And we want to encourage you, if you have walked away from God or you know someone that's walked away from God, keep praying for him. The Lord loves you. He wants you to run back to him, period. It doesn't matter. You have not gone so far. God can reach out. There is no one that he cannot save and no one that he cannot deliver. If you cry out to him and you call out to him, he will deliver you. Trust me. No matter how far and deep you go. Away from him, to him, or from him. He's always waiting with his arms open.
And to get back into the community aspect, as a friend who is praying for those people, like be there for them. Like go out. Like stop judging them,
Exactly.
Just go out and love them.
Right.
And I think
kind of like that effect is going blurry, but at the same time it's like
the devil is a liar.
The devil is a liar.
Let me see if I can fix this real quick.
Good, but what you're saying is absolutely correct. Let's stop judging people. I used to, stop judging people and love them, because they got to answer to God. You don't. They have their own life. Trust me, their own situation is already judging them. Their own situation is already in their face. So I don't have to make somebody feel bad. But you don't have to make me feel bad about what I'm doing. I already know what the hell I'm doing. I don't need you to tell me.
Right. I need you to love me. I need you to be there for me. I need you to be that friend. I had to learn that lesson the hard way.
Really?
Yeah, because there was a friend that I was walking with for a while, and he was struggling and stuff, but I became Mr. Judge and McJudge after a little while, and I expected certain things out of him as his walk, and when he didn't meet those, then I'm like, that pointing finger.
Yeah.
That was a horrible time.
Tredge GP, 559 Pyramid.
Yeah, there's Daniel too, Daniel Mayo.
Hey, all right, Daniel, love you, brother. We love you, Daniel. The Mayos, that family, right there.
I want to touch on one more memory, one
Yes.
more show before we head out, and that would be Chronicles of a Vixen.
Chronicles. Yes. That
That
was
was a
amazing.
show. That was a
That was,
show.
yeah. What do you want to touch on?
I don't know. I like the inspiration for it. I mean, in all of our productions and higher calling,
Love you, Danny.
um, we talked about reality theater, and I think
Yes.
Chronicles of a Vixen went even further. I mean, yes, it was reality, but in all the other things that we were doing were reality, and we had some, we talked about things, but visually, especially the
Yes.
one scene with the couch
With the
and all
couch.
that, and it's like we went for it. We're like, we're gonna
Yeah.
go, we're gonna go.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go. We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna show this.
Yes.
Which for people that haven't seen it, that was Chronicles of a Vixen was
Yes.
about the background dancers
Yes.
and rap
Video
videos
dancers
and
at that
video
time, very
dancers
popular. Yes.
trying to get their way up the ladder. And
Yes.
there was that one scene where one of them got raped, and
Yes.
I think we did it very tastefully, but
It was very
yet
tasteful.
very powerful
Yeah.
with the lighting that we used, the music that we used, and the little bit of imagery that
Yeah.
we used.
Yeah.
Because I know some people walked out because it reminded them of what happened to them.
Yeah.
But the inspiration for Chronicles of a Vixen, because you originally wrote that,
Yes.
and then I came in, read it, and try to help with
Clean
certain
up,
things.
tweak it up. Yeah. Clean
Yeah,
it up. Yeah.
where was that inspiration from for you?
For me, that inspiration was you know, Tony, that because I had written Divas before. Remember when I wrote Divas?
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching the culture. I was watching the culture shift into different things in society. And so Chronicles of a Vixen, by the time I wrote that, I had already been to several different, I already worked at BET Awards. I had worked at the MTV Awards, all the different award shows. And then even by that time, I think I had already started dancing with, for choreographing and dancing for celebrities and or choreographing girls for professional dancing, not stripping, not video vixen, none of that, but just like concert, full live shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I will never forget the one time I was at a BET award, and Shannon, if you're watching this, she's my witness. She was standing with me next to me, and I'm the type of person never enamored by Hollywood, was never enamored by celebrities. When I worked in it, was around it, worked in it. When I was asked to do certain things, to be in shows or do different things, a lot of things I turned down because of my religious belief. A lot of things I turned down because of my morals. But I remember this one girl said, Nelly had came across, Nelly, at that time, Nelly was very popular. And she said, I would do anything. And she said, I would do splits or some backward bend, and she would do some crazy crap and drop to the floor and all this stuff, right? And she was like, she was a dancer. She said, I would do anything and blah, blah, blah. And I remember telling her, I said, well, you are so valuable. Why would you want to degrade yourself like that? It was just the way she said it, how she was, and how she was willing to sell herself to Nelly. Nelly has nothing to do with this, but Nelly had walked by and she said this, and I was just like, it grieved me. And then I quickly in that moment was like, oh my God, there are a lot of women that would do anything. I was actually choreographing for an upcoming R&B artist, and there were several dances that I was helping her with, and helping with her and her dancers. And the majority, so after the show, after the concerts, the celebrities that I'm not going to name, the great thing was I'm glad that God covered me. So they didn't approach me, or because I didn't have that thing about me. But the majority of those girls were willing to do whatever, to just whatever, just to say that they've been with these celebrities, to say that they've been in the videos, or say that they this and that. And it grieved me because I'm like, you're worth more than that. And so the video vixen, and then I began to meet other girls that were telling me different stories that they experienced as being a video vixen during that time. And then I was also inspired by Stefan Corinne's book. Like, wow, these women, not judging them and not hating on them, is just that, like, the beauty that they have, that they were willing to throw that away just for a few dollars, or just to show themselves, and like, just like not really understanding the full value of who they were behind some wicked imagery, you know, some creative music. And so what I wanted to do was, I knew there was an audience out there. I knew there was an audience for people to want to see reality, and people are enamored with the entertainment industry. And I've always been that person that is like, hey, we're going to show you the glamorous side of the industry, but we're going to show you what's really behind the scenes. Because, and I'm so glad, Tony, I know you've seen, and I know a lot of people that are watching or that will watch this playback, you have been seeing the denigration, and you've been seeing people exposing the industry on so many levels, because it's about time, it's been time, and I'm glad. Because a lot of things in the industry, idol worship. And God said he'll have no other God before him, and he will judge, and he will fix, and he will transform. But there are a lot of people that were caught up in the video industry, in the rap game, in the music game, in any game in the industry. There were a lot of people wanting to know if they had gone too far, and would God still love them or forgive them. And that's what I wanted about when I wrote it, and when you helped me clean it up, and when the whole team, when Brian, you, Mondo, you all, and Daniel, the whole entire Mayo family, Brianna, you know, both Breeds and both Talikas, Malikas, Mishana, everybody, what I loved about even that time, and I'll never forget it, I think I mentioned it to Kiki Green, and she probably might, that's my homegirl, but Kiki Green, I think I mentioned to her, I said, one of the things about what I loved about Chronicles of the Vixens is that all of the girls that were a part of that family, that played these roles, these women were phenomenal. The men were awesome. The young men were awesome. Every last one of them. All the women were awesome, and they were beautiful. And I told Kiki Green, I said one of the greatest compliments I ever got was from the majority of the cast, when the women, when they said, T, this is the best show we've ever worked in. We love working with you, Brian, with Tony, you, Brian, and Mondo, like, and with you, there's like no jealousy in you. Like, you're not jealous, and there's no strife, and there's no backbiting, and there wasn't.
Right.
I mean, we were together for months, and then we did the show, and like the entire time, it was just like, we just loved on one another and did what we had to do, and there was no competition, and all of the girls, all of the women in there were fine.
Yeah, and we had different shows and different iterations, right? We had different people playing the same part, you know, because we did Vicious Video Vixens, then we changed the name to Chronicles of a Vixen.
Vixen, right?
And then I think we're going to do another one, and then just then we did the showcase. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, that was a great time. I enjoyed.
Deborah McCoy and Kim McCoy, how they supported us, and they were just there for us and loved on us, and like even what's his name, Q came through on a lot for us, you know. Yes, we just had an amazing cast, amazing crew members, amazing support. Yeah, it was amazing, and I love. It's that whole saying, like, when there's real love there and real family there, you could be away for months, years, days, or whatever, weeks. Y'all get together, it's like you never left.
Yeah, like we got together at a few of us got together at Chili's.
At Chili's, it's like we never left. We picked right back up.
It was fun. So let's end it with this, because we're at 42 minutes, and we can do this again, because I would like to do this again and rehash some of these things. But in the past, we did some great things. We did some awesome things.
We did.
And sometimes we can get stuck. Sometimes we can get stuck in that past, right?
Yeah, we can. The kids' laughter, their laughter the teacher's laughter. We have to see the importance of it's something about the importance of letting God use you to bring joy to the world. Because for me and for most of us, there was a season where it's just you have to hear the children laugh and hear them cracking up so to the point to where they're crying, and or the message being so powerful that the message is so powerful. I remember times at Sequoia, the different things we wrote, the different things we performed, especially about mothers and kids being taken away, and gang issues and drug issues. We would have the children laughing one moment, belly aching, down to I mean, just belly aching laughter, right? And then within the next moment, flip it, because they're faced with what they see. They saw their lives on stage through us and through the children that were acting it out. And to be able to take those teachable moments, to take those pivotal moments and be like, hey, you may be going through this right now. You may have seen this, you may have experienced this, but God is love. We love you. You can talk to somebody. Suicide is not the answer. Cutting yourself is not the answer. Drug is not the answer. Having sex with multiple different people is not the answer.
Right.
You hating other people, gossiping, talking, backbiting, and being vicious and fighting, violence is not the answer. And we would always give them that balance, that alternative, that way out that God taught us. And that's like, I got chills right now because it's like my life. Like I feel like I was put on this earth to be a light, to grow, to bless others, to love others, and to bring them to Jesus Christ, and bring them in a way that may not be conventional for a lot of people, and bring them in by love. And just be.
Even though our life changes.
Yes.
And what we do changes.
Yes.
Like we did shows, we wrote, we direct, we whatever. And then our lives have changed.
Is that my cousin? Yes,
you're in Florida. I'm over here in California. The message still stays the same. It's just how you share it changes.
Exactly.
And sometimes we got to go back to the original, and we got to go back and do some of that old stuff again.
Yeah.
But never stop sharing. It just changes. It's nice to go back, and it's nice to go back and look at all the stuff that we've done. Yeah. But we got to keep moving forward and seeing what to do next, which is why I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's see what happens on live. Okay.
Yeah.
What I back then was stage. The ministry changed. I was going to do a post recently, and I haven't done it yet. But because I found an old picture, and I was like, okay, even though I was on stage back then, the ministry today and the ministry that I've been able to be a part of over the last 5-10 years is completely different, but it's very personal. I led a couple of life groups. There is one life group that I led, whereas like I was in everybody's wedding, whether I was a groomsman or I did the wedding.
Right.
I did that, I officiated the wedding. Yeah. And it's like, it just changes, and being able to sit with people when they're struggling and just listen. I wouldn't have been able to do that 20 years ago. That wasn't in the ministry wheelhouse or whatever. That wasn't me 20 years ago, but today I can. And I hate using the word ministry because it seems so. I do too. It seems so boxed in, and it's like, no, this is just life. It's not ministry. This is just life. This is just community. It's just friendship.
It's not even a category. It's just life, like you said. You're saying it's life. There's a couple of words that we used to use a lot that I don't like using them either anymore. It's like, it's just life, like you said.
It boxes the church in. It boxes what we do in. Oh, I'm going to go serve. Well, what do you mean you're going to go serve? You should be serving all the time.
Already. It should be your way of life.
I think you got to change it to organized serving or organized ministry for those specific things. Like last night, I got the opportunity to share at a youth group. Everything was already written out. I just had to fill in for my buddy. It's like, okay, there's organized ministry. We're meeting at Wednesday at 6 o'clock, 6:30 for an hour. Great. But ministry is 24/7. Serving
24/7.
is 24/7. Community is 24/7.
Life
Going out,
is
just talking with people.
24/7. Yeah. It's a life calling.
Yeah.
It's 24/7. Somebody
Anyhow.
asked, and I think that's my way. Somebody asked in the entertainment. You see that?
I don't see.
I think that's my cousin. He's from London. Hi,
cousin.
Oh,
nice. London. We got London in here.
Yeah, we got London in the house.
Daniel asked, when are we doing it again?
You tell me. Share the light of Jesus. Tread GP says share the light of Jesus.
Yes.
You tell me. I'm down.
I have not met that guy. I want to meet you sometime. I think I followed him on Twitter, and then I followed him on the gram, but I've not met him yet, and I would like to meet him. Maybe one day I can interview you, and you can interview you. We can have a good conversation. But now he writes. I don't remember where you write for.
Trade GP.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've met a number of people. I would like to. I mean, just through social media. I like to know them. So Daniel was asking, when are we going to do this again? When are we going to go back up and do it?
We got to go on soon. You let me know.
First, you need to move to California.
I know.
Even though everybody is moving out.
Everybody moving out. I know. I miss California so much. There's no place like Cali. I hate Florida. But I love Florida because I'm here with my husband. That's the best part about Florida.
Nice. Oh, he's at CBN News now.
Who is?
Treg.
Oh, awesome. Nice to meet you, Trey.
Yes. We'll have to make that happen, buddy. Once I get more situated inside this whole interview thing, then I want to be able to expand and be like, hey, let's, once I learn this a little bit more and get all the equipment. Right now, it's my arm that's holding up my phone. I don't want to do that.
Don't even trip, because I just did an interview with Dawn Robinson. I'm so happy. I love her.
From In Vogue, yeah, that's great.
So she was my first interview, and then Kiki Green was my she interviewed me, and she was the second one. I had to learn the yard stream, and she's amazing at all that she does. But anyway, hi, cousin Mark, love you, all the way from London. Yes.
All right, well, we got to end this because I need to eat, and then I got to go pick up some kids.
Okay, great.
And so I'm kind of got to rush. But oh well, that's life, man. Life changes. How we do life changes. The ministry does not. The ministry stays the same. What we do and how we share God and love does not. Well, I mean, how we share it, yes, but the meaning behind it does not.
Right.
Oh, we got to hit up England when you get a chance. Let's go.
We'll do.
As soon as the world opens up.
As soon as it opens
Let's
up.
go.
As soon as it opens up.
Thank you, Daniel. It was good having you, T. We will do this again. Let's do this again. It was fun.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
All right.
See you guys.
Submerge.
Bye.
Submerging Life.
Yeah.